All right, joining us here at the Media Center at Indianapolis is your provisional #1 qualifier in funny car, Bob Tasca, who went to the top with his run of 3.864, 324 miles an hour. If that holds, it will be Bob's 5th #1 this season. Just another great sign of the direction this team is going. How proud of you for that run.
I give all the credit to the guys. We worked really hard on Monday in Brainerd on testing some things that we felt we needed to make a change, and you saw some of that tonight. So the guys were trying to run like 87, 88. We got a little more than I think that we thought we were going to get out there, but it was a great run. I tell you what, it was a challenging run because that sun was coming down, and I still can't believe sometimes your right foot stays down. You can't really see, but your brain says, well, I guess we're far enough away from the wall not to lift, and literally you drive the car and you can't see out the front windshield. And that glare that comes down as that sun's just starting to set, I think probably me and Robert had it the worst, because then it starts to set real fast, it gets dark. But it felt so good, it sounded good, it was smooth, and I came back to the guys, I said, when you pull it up on the computer, you're gonna smile, because sometimes you get all of it and it's sketchy. And I felt it like it was planted all the way down the racetrack, and Todd and Aaron looked at me, they're like, yeah, we could have got some more of it. So, tomorrow is a new ball game. We'll be running right about now, which will make a big difference, even if it's a little hotter during the afternoon. This track cools down real fast, and I think you're going to have to step up to hold on to it. But the good news is we got a package that we can definitely step up for tomorrow night.
Looking at just everything that's on the line, you got the call out, chance to go third points, chance to win Indy. How big is it to just start like this, knowing what's ahead?
Yeah, it's critical. It gives momentum, but I would think what's going to be really cool about this race, you're going to see drivers having to be at their best. You're going to see tuners having to be at their best because of the conditions, right? So we got cool Friday, cool, maybe a little hot Saturday afternoon, cool Saturday night, hotter on Sunday, and then 91 on Monday, right? So you're going to see the full spectrum of what you're going to have in your pocket. And I think the cars that have done a great job this season running low ET, what I'm most proud of is 4 #1 qualifiers on hot tracks and cold tracks. So we have the combination no matter what that track temperature is. And they asked me the question, why should someone fare you in the call out? First of all, I don't think anyone should fare anybody, but one of the things about our car, when you run it, we can run low ET at any given time. And there's not every car out there can say that, right? And when you're racing a car that can run low ET at any given point in time, you have to be ready to go to the mat, right? And that's what's put us in a position to win. And we're going to just try to carry this momentum on for the rest of the weekend.
Phil?
You've been in 2 finals here, 1 alcohol, 1 in nitro.
Yeah.
Didn't get it done.
No.
With your family's long history here, what would a funny car win mean here?
I tweeted out a picture, I don't know if you saw it, and I was in my basement, and there was a picture of my grandfather's ramp truck with his 1965 Mustang on it, the Superstock car, the Zimmy 3 they called it, and they were heading to Indy. Like that in my mind was them, Wednesday night heading to Indy, and I just thought for a moment that's what got me inspired to drag race, was stories of what my grandfather, Billy Lawton, John Healy, Ralph Poria did. And that was 58 years ago. 58 years later, we're still at Indy, out here swinging as hard as we can, and this would be an epic race to win. There's no question about that. I've come close a few times, and I can tell you we're going to leave it all out there this weekend.
Huh? Yeah, I was just listening to your opening comment. Do you have a chance to get scared when you can't see driving that fast?
I don't know. First off, no, not scared. I did think on the run, I'm like, wow, this is pretty crazy. Like, I can't really see where I'm going, but it feels straight and it feels really good. And then it went through the lights and I heard 6, and I'm saying, I thought I heard 96. I'm like, 96? Couldn't have been 96. There's got to be something wrong with my brain if that ran 96. And then I heard 86. And that's hey, listen, I always say the day I get out of a race car after running low ET or winning a race and I'm not as excited as you saw me, then that's probably the last race Bob Tasca is going to drive at. So I still get fired up. I love doing it, and it's all about, you know, performing, and this team has done that all year long. So I give all the credit to Todd and Aaron coming into this program and let's be honest, a tailspin, to say it kindly, but at the end of the day, it was the best thing that ever happened to me, and we're in a great place, so we're going to keep going.
Now you know you can drive with your eyes closed.
I drive with my eyes closed. Yeah, I wouldn't suggest it, but I did.
Bob, you talk about your memories of your grandfather. Now your kids are out here, they're getting older, they're getting a much better understanding of what you do. To kind of keep that arc going, that they're going to be able to tell their kids in the next, like my dad raced so well at Indy where my great-grandfather,
Yeah.
just for the Tasca family here, what does that mean to you?
Yeah, I mean, listen, I could get emotional just thinking about it. I mean, I think it's what's so special about this sport. Generations. I mean, my grandfather goes back to the Wally Park days, and to continue on what he started. And my goal from the very beginning was to leave our family's history a little richer than I found it. That was really, you don't know if you're going to win championships, you don't know what you're going to do, right? And that's what I've been focused on my whole career. And, you know, I've been very fortunate to have had incredible people around me, and, you know, have my kids around me now, and, you know, one's flying in tomorrow, another one's flying in the next day. They're supposed to be in school, and all of a sudden I see hotel confirmations, and I'm like, Austin? Why is Austin on? And well, he said he's coming out, and it's just exciting. I mean, they love it. They're passionate about it. They got a lot of work to do before they're going to get in the car. I can tell you that much. They got to go to school. They got to run some dealerships. They got to buy some dealerships. They don't realize I didn't start racing until I was 32. So, but no, we're a family business. We work together at the dealerships, and we race together out here. So,
What would you say to your grandfather if he was at the top end when you got out of the car after making that run?
I would probably say top testing went well. My grandfather loved to test, and he would have been so happy we tested. No, I would have given him a hug, and I know how proud he'd be to see us competing at this level. And I wouldn't have to say anything. You just have to look in his eyes, and that was the kind of guy he was. You just had to look at him, and you knew exactly how he felt and how you felt about him. And I swear that I don't know if there's a time I get in that car that I have his decal on the side of the car as I get in, and I think about him all the time.
Bob, Josh touched on this a little bit, but obviously this is Indy, prestigious in itself. But you also have several other things going on. You've got the call out. There's a mission event, and you're also getting ready for the countdown. How do you not only focus on doing what you need to do in the race car, but you've got to, there's a lot of other things going on. How do you compartmentalize?
I think, I mean, I've never been to a race like it's 3 races in one. They all have big implications. Points for the mission. Obviously, the call-out's a big deal, and then, I could finish 3rd or I could leave here 7th, right? Depending on the points and a half. The way that I approach it, and I know our team approaches it, it's 1 round at a time. Like, you roll up, we want to run as quick as we can on whatever the track temperature is in front of us and do the best we can. If you start to think too far ahead, you can get yourself in trouble. If you try to we can't try any harder than we try, right? And I think if you try to overthink it, you can just make it worse for yourself. But man, this is an epic race. I mean, this might be an all-timer, right? To have 3 in 1 and the implications, and just to be a part of it and see the crowd here on a Friday night at Indy, I don't know if it gets much cooler than that.
Do you know who you're calling out if you get the chance?
I know exactly, if I get the chance and the person's still available, I know exactly who I'm calling.
Who?
I didn't even have it. My kids go, did you talk to Todd Aaron? I said, no, I didn't talk to him. I just know who I want to race. They're like, okay. I said, for me, you look at who brings the best out of you, and it'll be an easy pick for me.
Thanks,
With that, we'll leave it all. All right.
Thanks, sir. Appreciate it.